1075 WGCI, the Shy's number one for hip hop and R&B. It's the morning show with the Destin legend Leon Rogers.
Hey, yo.
The beautiful Kendra G is out today. Myself, the 5-footer Kyle Santillion in the building. And we are acknowledging Mental Health Awareness Month here at WGCI and on the morning show. So we're doing our part just to kind of have that conversation and eliminate some of the stigma that's attached to mental health awareness. And with that being said, this morning, we have on Zoom, as you all can see, and joining us here in the studio, Dr. Onyejiaka is with us this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How about you?
Great, great. And we have you on today because you are a board certified psychiatrist and pediatrician. You have a clinical practice. You care for individuals, couples, families, groups of all ages. You specialize in supporting athletes, performers, so many different people, such a wide variety of types of people that you help deal with mental health and everything that comes with it, correct?
Correct. That's exactly right. You did your homework. Wow.
We got to make sure we know who's coming on the show. You know what I mean? So let's start there. Mental health awareness. I feel like there's been a big push for people to be more aware about mental health in recent years. Do you feel like the stigma is starting to die down and people are becoming more involved with engaging in mental health services?
I do. I think it's getting better because there's more resources out there. You know, you can go online and search. You can look at therapy for Black girls, therapy for Black men, Black mental wellness, the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, and find a provider who looks like you and maybe has similar experiences to you. That kind of takes away that fear I think people have of making themselves vulnerable, exposing themselves to somebody who can't imagine their life and is judging them instead of empathizing and trying to help them. So it's getting better slowly but surely.
Sure.
Doctor, I want to ask a question as far as Black men are concerned. You know, it's always been a stigma when, you know, as a guy, you know, we're raised as young boys, you know, you fall on the ground, scrape your knee, get back out there, don't cry and all this. And I don't think Black men kind of talk to each other like the same way women do or Black women do. And women do. Talk about Black men and mental health and what the big stigma and how we can get around that about Black men being scared to go see a physical therapist because you get the label as being weak or whatever in our communities. I can't speak for anybody else.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You know, the stigma is that therapy is not for men, it's for white people, weak people, or heathens, right? And none of that is true. Actually, in my practice, maybe half of the patients are men.
Wow.
And they come in nervous, but once we get started, they're like, oh, wow, this is my sis. She's trained, she's helping me, she has my back. And they really don't want to stop, you know. I think that pretending like we don't have feelings is a waste of time. They're there for men too. Historically, there's a reason why we had to keep it together because there were terrible things going on. There are still terrible things going on and nowhere to place those feelings. So it's a matter of survival. But now things are changing. We have professionals like myself and others who are here to help. And I do see the trend increasing. The key is safety. People don't want to come and talk in a place where they don't feel safe and then walk out into the world where they really aren't safe.
Right. Do you feel like there is a line, so to speak, between addressing your feelings in a healthy way, expressing yourself in a healthy way, and expressing yourself in an unhealthy way? And I'll just for an example, like, of course, we don't want to be a person who can't control their emotions enough that they spaz out on a job or spaz out in random places and random surroundings. So you need to have at least some sort of control over your emotions. So where's the line between having just enough control that you're not out of control and addressing them in a healthy way?
I would look at that like driving. You know, there's being a passenger and then there's having the wheel. You never want to feel like your feelings are driving you. You want to be able to have your feelings, see them, sit with them. They could be uncomfortable, but not go from 0 to 10. Most of us don't really go from 0 to 10. It's just we don't recognize it until it's 10. Right. It boils over and then the whole workplace heard about it. And now we look away, we look like how people want to say we look, you know?
So what do you say to the the strong people. You know, I always say check on the strong people. That friend that you always go to throw all your problems on. What do you say to them? And even yourself as being a doctor, you hear a lot of stuff. How do you sort through it? Because I know us here working at the radio station, when we hear about the violence in the city, it builds up. You know, how is a person, the strong person in the group of friends, what do you say to them? And like even yourself and other doctors, how do you all deal with hearing everybody else's trauma?
We have to take care of ourselves too. We have to talk
Okay.
to each other. We have to get our own therapists. We have to take breaks. We have to sleep. We have to eat. We have to remember to drink water. All of those basic things that easily fall off when you're caring for a community. I don't think I've ever been as busy as I am now. I don't think the waiting list has ever been as long as it is now. And I
Really?
don't think I've ever had to be as deliberate about my rest as I am now.
Hmm. What do you find is that first barrier that people tend to have to break through in order to engage in mental health, mental therapy? You know what I mean? And we talked earlier about the stigmas. What do you think is that first barrier? It's like if you can just get past this one thing, you'll be a lot more engaging, and it'll be much more helpful in the need to addressing the mental health.
The number one request for me is someone wanting a provider of color. Number one request. I would say to that, number two, I would say would be fear of medication. If your therapist happens to be like me, also a psychiatrist who can prescribe, I think there's a fear of, oh man, I'm gonna be zombied, I'm gonna be dumbed down, I'm gonna be a shell of myself. Um, and that's just not true.
So let's continue on that. Let's piggyback off that. Let's continue with the medication, because I myself am a lover of God's favorite plant, which he put on this earth, I think, for us to indulge in and be of calm mind and peace of mind. But sometimes I think in our communities, because of the stress, we tend to self-medicate, but in the wrong ways. We turn to, alcohol and oxy and all that stuff. So what do you say about that, about people who try to control their mental anguish, but maybe we're smoking a little marijuana or something like that? What are the do's and don'ts of that? Or is that a dangerous game to play when trying to self-medicate, to deal with stress?
It can be dangerous if, like we touched on before, if you're really on 8, 9, or 10, and you're bringing yourself down to, let's say, a 5 or even to a 0 with any substance, the real issue hasn't been healed, hasn't been addressed. That's kind of a band-aid. So again, you might notice that whether it's food, alcohol, smoking something, sex, whatever it is, if that thing is starting to take hold of the wheel and you need it, you wake up needing it, you need it in the morning, you need it at noon, you need it in the night, that means you're no longer in control of yourself. And that's the same for even prescribed medications. Some medications, can take over if they're not given in a proper way.
So you could use sex as a way to deal with stress?
Absolutely.
I've never run into any of these people in my lifetime. I sure enough would have been their therapist. What's going on?
Let me ask you this, Doc. We talked about, some of the things that are holding people back from partaking, but talk about the other side of it. Talk about the benefits of, somebody successfully getting therapy, and on the other side, how it has positively affected their lives. Like, what do you see on that side?
You see families come together, you see people leaving a rut relationship, leaving a rut job, finding balance in life, finding peace in life. Peace of mind is so priceless. We take it for granted. A lot of us are just surviving and not really living. And there's so much life to live. Life is short. We owe it to ourselves to make sure, to check in. Am I living or am I just surviving day to day?
Yeah.
To wake up in the morning and run to a boss without having taken care of yourself is risky. And to come home just to go to sleep, to do it all again is risky. Where are you in your own life cycle? Where are you in your own daily cycle? So when people find that, it really changes their life. And you notice it because you'll see they require less therapy, they require less medicine, and sometimes they come off of both altogether. So people can come out on the other side.
I like that.
Doc, what are some signs, and I know you got a busy day ahead of you, but what are some signs that people can look for in others and in themselves, where they see that fuse is being lit and it's moving towards that detonation, that you can cut that off and get in front of it early to stop it? What are some little telltale signs that you could probably see in people that are going through it and maybe they just need a hug, a hey, sit down, let's go hang out and let's talk?
Number one would be sleep disturbance. When you start losing your sleep or the dreams get funny,
Mm.
Really?
that's usually a sign. That's even though I tell people, even though you have fallen asleep, your mind hasn't. Your mind is awake trying to work out whatever the day was telling you, whatever your fears are, whatever your worries are. So looking at sleep is a good one.
Can I piggyback on that really quick? So when we talk about dreams and sleep disturbance, like if you're starting to have crazy dreams, you could be stressed out.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I ask my patients. And 9 times out of 10 can learn something from that.
I'm
So-
sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I know that we couldn't get the answer because your dog was barking. Could you just answer that one more time?
He tries to steal my shine every
He
time.
won't let you be great. He won't let you be great, Doc.
Yeah. What was your answer to that last question again?
I think 9 times out of 10, a dream will tell your dream will tell on you. 9 times out of 10.
So wait a minute. This dream I got are these clowns chasing me and constantly laughing at me, but then when they catch me, they got like bats, but they foam bats. Then they hit me with the bats and I get up and run away and they chase me again. We do this over and over till like I finally wake up. What does that mean?
I
And
think
after
something be chasing you in real life. What's chasing you? Let's do it. Tell me.
I don't know though, but like I said, I be thinking they have real bats, but when they catch up to me and they start beating me, but it's foam bats and they're laughing like crazy. And then I get up and run away again and I repeat the same process.
It sounds like there's something you're afraid of, and it sounds like there's something that you're afraid of, but it's not as bad as your fear.
Mm.
Oh, I thought I was gonna have to get a new dealer. I was like, he gave me some bad stuff. I'm tripping.
No, it's not that. It's
Okay.
Not
All right. I never looked at it like that. I just thought it was weird that 4 guys in a clown car chased me down, beat me with foam bats, let me go, and I just hear them laughing all the time, but I keep running and I still get caught.
That's crazy.
That's just one interpretation. If I know you, I could probably get down to something.
Okay.
All right.
That was AKA book a session, Leon. Come on.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I am a doctor. You do see Sears Tower behind me, don't you? Okay.
All right. Doc, we're going to let you get to your day, but before you go, please, man, let people know listening right now how they can reach out to you for services or just find services in general if they're thinking about getting mental health, setting a mental health appointment.
So there's therapy for Black girls online, therapy for Black men. That's a resource online. There's also Black Mental Wellness and the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. And I think inclusive therapists, those are good nationally, generally to look at. My own office, I'm down at Millennium Park. So you can go to www.mydura.org and see myself, see the other people working in my office, and reach out by phone or email for an appointment. Yeah.
I got to put you on the spot real quick. I need you to make a decision. Super Eagles or Black Stars?
Ooh.
Come on. Super Eagles or Black Stars?
You're gonna make me choose?
Yeah, come on now.
You first.
Well, I'm a Super Eagle guy. I love the Super Eagles.
How come?
I just always love their color, and I love the green and white. Don't get me wrong, I love Ghana too. I love the Black Stars. Jerry Azuma always gets on me about not showing love to the Black Stars, but Super Eagles were like the first team I seen from the continent of Africa do their thing in the World Cup. I remember it was back like in maybe like 89 or something for me when I saw it, and I was like, man, these dudes is dope. I didn't know brothers played soccer like that, you know what I'm saying, was all together. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started cheering for them. But then I saw Cameroon and the Black Stars and the Ivory Coast. So, but I gotta put you on the spot though, because I know you like both flags.
Mhm. I do. You did your homework on me. My goodness. My goodness. I can't choose. Mom and dad would not be pleased.
Hey, you choose the Black Stars? Why
We
Oh my-
appreciate you, Doc, man. Thank you for this conversation today. I think a lot of people will benefit from it, and it's well needed. It's much needed in the community. So we appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you so much. Anytime.
No
Salute.
problem. Dr. Onyejiaka is hanging out with us today, Chicago. See her about your services. Get signed up. Let's take care of our mental as well as our physical. All right? GCI.